What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're gonna be installing the intake manifold on our Chevy 350 build. Now the last video we got all of the rockers set and calibrated. We got the lifters and the push rods in, which means we are ready to seal up the intake. Now right over here in this little box is our intake manifold, a gorgeous Edelbrock intake. It is going to make this engine look absolutely gorgeous. But first, let's talk about what we're gonna need. One, you're gonna need some RTV, specifically high temp RTV. Doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it's high temp RTV. Then you're gonna need all of your bolts and washers for the intake manifold, and you're gonna need the actual intake manifold gaskets here as well. So that being said, we've got all of our stuff laid out and ready to go. We're gonna start with some RTV. So what you're gonna wanna do is lay a bead of RTV all along here. And you're gonna want it to be a relatively thick bead. You know, don't shy away from using too little on this. Just obviously don't overdo it to the extent that it is pouring over. And you're gonna kind of flick the tail of it up into the actual head itself. And I'm actually just gonna use my finger here and kind of spread it up in there. Then on the other side here, we're gonna do the exact same thing. Again, don't shy away from using too much on here. And then again, on the very ends, you're just gonna kind of taper it up into the head. Perfect. Now what I'm gonna do next is a little bit controversial, but I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be a good idea. So what I'm actually gonna do is take a little RTV and put it on my finger. And I'm just gonna slowly make a small seal of RTV all the way around the water socket here. Not a lot, but enough that there's a little bit of extra protection there. Very thin layer. And we're gonna do the exact same thing with the one down here. Now, like I said, this is a fairly controversial practice. A lot of people say you gotta do it. A lot of people say you don't gotta do it. And some people say it doesn't matter one way or another. And not only is this gonna be great for sealing, but it's also gonna help us hold our intake gasket on when we place it down on the heads here. And if you happen to get RTV too close to a bolt hole like I did down here, just grab a paper towel, and while it's still wet, take it off. All right, now that we've got our RTV down, we're gonna put the intake manifold gaskets on. Now I'd recommend using two hands here, and just laying them down to align the bolt holes. Just like that. Squish it into your RTV. And it'll stick right there. Then you take the other one. We're gonna do the exact same thing on this side. Line your bolt holes, put it down, and just give it a little squish. And there you go. Now it's sticky. And now for the biggest, most important piece of them all, the intake manifold. Make sure your fingers are not touching the RTV. Align your bolt holes. Again, give it a little squish, and we're on. So now at this point, we're gonna start putting our bolts in. These are really easy. You might have to wiggle the intake manifold around a little bit just to get them started. All right, we got all of our bolts snugged down. Now we have to start torquing. So it's 2 rounds, one is 20, and then one is 30 foot-pounds. And you do it in the torque sequence, and I'll put that up on screen as well. All right, guys, the intake manifold is torqued down to spec. As you can see, a little bit of that RTV is squeezing out there. Got a little squeezing out there. Back over here, you can see it squeezing out, which is exactly what we want. And if you look down inside here, you can see just a tiny bit in there, but no big drips, no nothing. that's gonna be a really, really good seal. So guys, that's it. It's literally that easy to install an intake manifold. A lot of people overcomplicate it. There's some really, really crazy tutorials on YouTube about how to do this, how to do that. But I hope you guys learned something new today and enjoyed the video. And if you did, I'd really appreciate you subscribing, liking the video, leaving a comment, let me know maybe what you would have done in this situation. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya!